Happy Friday, everybody. Hello. If you have never been here before, I am ItsKim. Welcome to my channel. This is my live show where I interact with my community that I call Space Angels, and we go over headlines, have some fun, and just hang out and have a good time. If you are watching on the replay, thanks for choosing to be here. I appreciate that. If you want to skip to a specific part in the stream, you are welcome to do so. I will have timestamps in the pinned comment below that you can refer to. Generally on the show, what we do is we have our main headlines. We are going to be doing a bit more coverage into Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me. I'm a big Britney Spears fan, and we've been working through her book a bit. And then we have kind of a halftime where we just kind of hang out and talk. And then we have a section called What the What, where we look at things from around the internet that are funny, a little bit wild, just kind of one of those things that you're like, I cannot believe this is real type thing. And we have a lot of fun with that. So we have a loaded show today because we actually have two What the Whats. One I have seen. The other I have not. So I will react to it with you at the same time. But the other one I have seen, but I had to share this with you guys because my jaw hit the floor. I had a moment. Very, very excited to be here. I did want to say thank you so much to those of you that have already shown support to this stream really before we even started. Thank you so much to Doro, I hope I said your name right. Thank you very much for the super sticker of the rose that you sent in as well. Thank you to Tyranna for the hype sticker for $5. Thank you very, very much. And Shauna, thank you so much for your continued support of this channel and how much it means. The gifted memberships. You are amazing. Thank you very, very much. Just going to double check here. I also wanted to say quickly, after stream wrapped on Tuesday, please load for me, phone. Thank you. I wanted to say thank you so much to DVD as well as King Bob, who both sent me PayPals. I very much appreciate that. That goes right into a fund that helps me with paying for things that operate the channel, and I very, very much appreciate that. So, and I just saw another one come through. For the record, Your Honor, you don't need to do that. Behind the scenes. Yep. Thank you so much, Linda. I love you. Okay, so we've got a lot to go through today. I am going to ask you guys to please consider hitting that like button if you have not done so. Please consider subscribing. Please let me know if there's any tech issues going on. If you're seeing anything weird, I will do my best to see what I can do to fix those things. Also, I just saw Marcella come in. Hi, Marcella. By extension, hello, Bella Bing Bing. And hello, Itty Bitty Bing Bing. Much love to you guys. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so I would like to start today with the main topic, and then we will do the book club, if that's okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, and also Vicky A, thank you, as well as General Scott for gifting 5 memberships each. So that's more memberships today for the channel. That is incredibly generous of all of you. Thank you so much for doing that. I honestly, for me, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way because I love the super stickers. I love the super chats, and you guys should absolutely, if giving anything is just wild to me that even happens, period. But I get super happy when the gifted memberships happen because it means that we get to include more people in this community. And one of the things that I really want to do with this channel and have for a long time is I want to create a place where people feel that they can come as they are, that they can laugh, that they can cry, that this is a safe space, even when we talk about things that are difficult and controversial. And it just makes me so happy when it's like, we're like a cool kid table that everybody can come and sit at. Like that's that's what I want to do. And I mean, we're not that cool, but you know what I mean? Like I want to be the place that people feel that they can come and just have a good time. So thank you so much to General Scott. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you for everybody that helps with the channel because it all just goes back in and makes this, go forward. Exactly, Linda. You can sit with us. You can. And we don't have a dress code. You don't have to wear pink. We're all good. Alrighty. So I wanted to talk to you guys about this because I found it to be quite fascinating. This is a story that has started to develop. I'm not overly surprised that it is, but it is that a number. Oh my gosh. Vicky A. I have to start the stream, guys. I have to stop. Thank you so much that you guys warm my heart. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You guys are wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Lovingly, I'm going to have to stop acknowledging the support because I have to get through the story and I'm going to get distracted. Okay? Okay, so here we go. Pause on that. We will get to it. We will get to it. If anyone wants to send anything in, I will talk about it when we break and go to the next topic. Here we go. Okay, so main topic. Timestamp moment right here. Okay, so one story I've started to see developing is in regards to Jessica Biel, who is Justin Timberlake's wife, and Britney Spears. Now, I want to be very clear. I know that it is a very fun thing sometimes for some people to jump on the wagon and to put in girls against girls and to start having this whole conversation, the mean girls type thing. I would ask that you would please let me just, talk about this and you'll see where I'm coming from. I do have criticism with Jessica Biel with this. I do. But I also recognize that she is a person, and we're going to talk more about just her in a little bit. So the question here is, did Jessica Biel bash Britney? Well, it kind of does look like that. So Mirror has picked this up after Britney fans have been talking about this. Jessica Biel's cryptic comment resurfaces as Britney Spears fans target her. I mean, that's a little bit dramatic, but okay. Justin Timberlake's wife, Jessica Biel, is being slammed by Britney Spears fans as an old tweet of hers recirculates, in which the actress seemingly dissed the pop singer. An old social media post by Jessica Biel has come under scrutiny as fans target her and her husband, Justin Timberlake, following the release of Britney Spears' memoir. Now, can I please just say, I don't feel like Britney fans necessarily are targeting Justin Timberlake. He painted that target on his back when he lied for decades. We didn't put it there. If you hadn't done it, nobody would be mad at you. Let's just be real here. I'm sorry. I think that that's important to mention. If you hadn't have built your career off of the backs of women so brazenly, openly, then this wouldn't be happening. So, okay. As the pop princess's highly anticipated memoir, The One and Me, hit shelves this week, which is also now sold over 1 million copies in the US alone. It's number one on everything. It's doing fantastic. Britney Army, here we are. Woot woot. Justin has been under fire following several bombshell revelations about his 3-year-long relationship with Britney. As Justin is being scrutinized for his treatment of the beloved pop singer, an old cryptic tweet from his wife, Jessica, that fans believe references Britney, is recirculating online as well. So the controversial tweet was sent out in 2014, specifically the date July 28th, 2014. Okay? Remember this date. So the tweet says, "Life's too short to wear mediocre underwear." And I know that this is weird. I know this is kind of weird, but stay with me. Stay with me. And I do want to say to YouTube in particular, hi, YouTube human reviewer. As always, I am going to do my best to respect your community guidelines. Nothing explicit is going to be shown. I have censored bad words. I have done all of the things to try to satisfy your community guidelines. And as always, as we say on this channel,
I'm trying.
Okay, doing my best. And also, this video will contain my opinion and speculation, but I will explain why. And if you have questions about where I get this information, you can check out the doc I have in the description. It is a Google Doc that goes over all of the links. So you are welcome to check those out if you want, and you want more information on why I'm saying what I'm saying. I hope that that's okay. So this tweet was posted shortly after the launch of Britney's signature lingerie and sleepwear line, the Intimate Britney Spears. So for those of you that don't remember, Britney launched a lingerie line in 2014. Here's one of the promo images for it. And here is an article talking about the launch on July 28th of 2014. And the whole idea of this lingerie line was that it was inclusive. I remember being absolutely shocked at how, like, This company that she partnered with, they do bras and lingerie and underwear and things like that in extended sizing. So literally if you were an H cup, you could still get things from this line. And that for me just was it was awesome, and Britney really wanted people to feel confident and empowered, and not only just so much for when they were, getting ready to do things in the bedroom, but also just for themselves. She made a point of saying that it was like, "No, just do it for you, because it makes you feel cute. Good for you." I loved the vibe of this. So this was some of the images that came out with the line. I don't know if anybody remembers any of this, but this definitely did happen. um, and so she actually partnered with a company called Change Lingerie. They're a Danish company. They are still active. They're still in operation. Um, and so here's an article that talked about the actual company. So Britney Spears has announced her upcoming lingerie collection for the Danish company Change Lingerie. The 38-year-old pop star already rules show business in the perfume world and has now entered the world of underwear with her debut collection called the Intimate Britney Spears, and talks a bit about how, like, what's in there. It was everything from was very vintage inspired. There were kimonos and loungewear as well as other stuff and sweats and all that type of thing. And she said every woman should feel confident and beautiful in everything she puts on. My vision for the Intimate Britney Spears is to create pieces that are sexy, luxurious, and comfortable at the same time. The collection will launch in September of 2014, and the prices are expected to be affordable, ranging between $17 and $79 US. And I have to say, my ladies up in this chat, how many of us have spent more than $79 on a piece of under anything? This stuff, especially depending on what size you are, like whatever, it gets expensive because it's not only about having the one, it's that you have to have many. You need like a drawer full of stuff. A lot of women cannot afford $500 pieces because it's not a $500 piece. It would be like 5 of them plus other stuff. It's a lot. It is so much. So the idea that she decided to go with a company, and I don't know how much of this was really her choice because we are talking about the conservatorship, but the fact that they made a decision that they wanted to do a line specifically that many women could afford. And I'm not saying like everybody's financial situation is different, but I loved that Britney chose to work with Elizabeth Arden to have fragrances that weren't obscenely expensive. This was going on and obviously didn't want it to be obscenely expensive. And I really respected that. And not only that, but if you take a look at the images here, this stuff does not look like cheap garbage, in my opinion. I don't think it does. Maybe I have garbage taste, but I don't think that looks nicer than a lot of things that I have seen that would be considered bargain, you know, undergarments. So, yeah, that whole thing. So, I want to say this. When it comes to Jessica, I don't want anybody sending her hate. I cannot imagine how uncomfortable the last couple weeks have been for her. And ultimately, she really didn't do anything in this situation. And I don't think that she should be essentially punished and dragged for what I believe are the sins of her husband. In all fairness, right? I will say, do we know if that tweet especially was directed at Britney? No, we don't. But I will say, I don't think that it was a positive thing at all because most women, if you're trying to build another woman up, would be like, life's too short to wear, ugly, whatever, for example. But at Britney Spears has just put out an incredible line. Check it out. Good for you, girl. Yes, women supporting women. You go check it out. Have a great time. It looks amazing. That to me would be an encouraging tweet. Didn't get that vibe from what I read. And if anything, it was terrible timing and a really weird tweet to put out with no other reason. You know what I mean? So you have to admit that the optics of it do look a certain way. Whether or not she intended to do that is up in the air, which is why I have in the title, is she a mean girl? I don't know. I don't know. But I will say it's convenient. It looks very convenient. It doesn't look good. Like, do you guys hear what I'm saying? So I want to ask you guys, with all of that information in mind, I'm going to do a poll. Do you guys think, or do you think that Jessica was shading Britney? And let me know. Let me know, because this has become like, this is the thing now that some fans are talking about. We're trying to figure it out. I absolutely will give credit as well to there's a thread on Exhale that I looked at a bit as well. I don't want to like call out people's usernames in case they don't want that to be a thing. But you can absolutely check out the thread. It is in the document, and I don't want to just not acknowledge them because I'm sure Mirror took from them too, in all honesty. That would be my bet. I don't know for sure. That's my opinion. But yeah. Okay, so currently, as you guys are starting to vote, we are 87% yes. So I'm going to let that go for a minute. But the thing is with Jessica, something we have to keep in mind is if we're going to have compassion and empathy for Britney with what Justin put her through, let's talk about what's happening right now with Justin and Jessica. This is another report from Mirror. Again, I don't know if this is true, but I am hearing this from multiple outlets. And I feel like this is believable, in all fairness. And it's that Justin Timberlake's family is in chaos after Britney Spears's revelations about their relationships. And the source admitted that it's unclear whether or not Justin told his wife about the pregnancy from his previous relationship. They said, I have no idea if that was something he ever told Jessica about, because Justin's relationship with Britney is not something he discusses with his friends. Just radio stations, SNL, any magazine that will listen, and Barbara Walters. But friends are off limits. Let's be real. We got to keep it 100, okay? We got to be real about it. So if she didn't know, and she literally found out when the rest of the world found out, wow. Just wow. And I don't know if that was maybe Justin trying to honor a promise or something. I don't know. But I would think that give her a heads up, man. Maybe be good. I don't know. Now, I also will say, I don't know this website that well, but they had a fantastic, fantastic summary. So, and I double checked it, and it was accurate. So I'm going to keep it in here. But basically, Justin has also allegedly cheated on Jessica. And I don't know how much of you guys remember, how many of you guys remember this. It happened in November of 2019. It was when actors, or I'm reading the wrong word, when photos of singer turned actor Justin Timberlake holding hands with his co-star Alicia Wainwright spread like wildfire through the internet, accompanied with whispers of cheating allegations. The images published by The Sun, Timberlake is seen on a balcony bar in New Orleans as he laughed with his colleague, seemingly engaged in a flirtatious manner. The publication stated he was not wearing his wedding ring. And at one stage, he grabbed her hand and rested it on his knee. She then gently started stroking his leg, a source told the publication. He then clutched her hand with both of his and started playing with her hands. Okay? So, and you'd think, well, how do we know that that's real though, right? Because pictures, people can get weird pictures and it can look like something and it's not. Sometimes people also take pictures of people on set and then say that it's, oh, well, they were doing this. It's like, no, they're following the script, but okay. Except, yeah, Timberlake responded to the rumors and he apologized publicly. He acknowledged it and was like, yeah. And he said, I stay away from gossip as much as I can, but for my family, I feel it is important to address recent rumors that are hurting the people I love. A few weeks ago, I displayed a strong lapse in judgment. But let me be clear, nothing happened between me and my co-star. I drank way too much that night, and I regret my behavior, and I should have known better. And the article also says that lockdown was a blessing for them getting their marriage back on track. So the isolation forced them to work through their issues. They were on shaky ground, but quarantine has been a blessing in disguise. It brought them closer together. They've been isolating on their ranch in Montana, enjoying hikes and fishing and everything else. Okay. But the thing is, reportedly, Jessica pushed him to apologize publicly because she was so embarrassed by his behavior. Like, oh my gosh. Is this sounding familiar to a certain memoir we've all been going through of someone who's very quick to point out other people's infidelity, other people's problems, but when it comes to his, it's a strong lapse in judgment. And I'm only going to talk about it when I have embarrassed and hurt my wife enough. This is why I say Jessica didn't ask for this. She didn't ask for any of this. And for all we know, if that tweet was sent out shading Britney, what version of Britney does she know? Is it the version that Justin told her? Is it like I'm just being honest with you. Like if you're with somebody, you're gonna tend to believe that person when they talk about what happened with their ex, right? You're gonna believe them. You're gonna choose to believe them. Heaven knows what had been said at that time. So, what I am trying to say is I personally think that it was shady. I do. That's my opinion. I think she was throwing shade. But I also have compassion for her. And that's why I don't want anybody going out and attacking her. I don't want to do that. I don't think that that's okay. But and I will say here, I genuinely hope that if everything that we have heard about Justin Timberlake is true, if he truly is the snake that is currently in the dialogue in the public, that if Jessica wants to leave and she doesn't want to be in this relationship with this person anymore who has already publicly hurt her, that we would be able to go, you know what? We got your back, Jessica. We got your back. Because I don't like women tearing other women down, especially not over boys. And I cannot. Like, I don't even want to call him a man. I'm just so like, ridiculous, 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 ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to stop the poll. 88% of you think that it was shady. So I think I'm in the majority. I think we're all kind of on the same page with that. But I did want to talk about this today because I did see it and it's just kind of been like one of those things that's bugged me. It's bugged me. Okay, so I'm just gonna head back to the main slide here and I'm gonna go through some support because I know I have missed some as I have been reading. So to start, I believe the second set of Vicky A we did talk about of the gifted memberships. Thank you very much. Followed by Joanne, who gave 5 memberships to everyone, which is incredible. Thank you so, so, so much. What are we up to, producer sister, if you don't mind me asking? Can you tell?
30.
We're at 30? 30 memberships today. Yeah. Holy crap. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm so glad just everybody's getting involved and it's awesome. White Fang of the Leaf said, I still remember him being on pills or something on X Factor UK years ago. And it was on TV. What? Is that real? I have no memory of this. And I would love to look it up and put it on, but I feel like if I do that and it is that, I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah,
but that's interesting. That is interesting. That's very interesting if it happened. Yeah. Linda's like, where? Where? Ah! I feel like I can hear you from here, Linda. Yeah. Brittany Taylor just had a comment, just came through. I'm not gonna lie, I love JT growing up and even being older. The problem is they never talked bad about Justin. You had to go looking for it. And sadly, it wasn't until a couple years ago I realized I hate him now. I think it's difficult too, because I think you can also admit that somebody, they may be not a nice person, but that doesn't mean they don't make good music. That doesn't mean that they're not good performers, all of those types of things. There has to be sometimes separation of art and the artist. And I'm kind of at that point right now with Justin, to be honest with you. It's because I mean, I will definitely say Producer Sister and I very much enjoyed that summer where Nelly Furtado's album was out. Um, I can't say the name of the album, but Justin's second record was out, and Timbaland's album came out.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's all that was playing in our cars all the time. That's all that was playing. Promiscuous girl summer, right? Like, let's be real here. It was a good time. It was a good time, and we enjoyed that music. But that doesn't mean that he's a good person. It doesn't mean that he's doing the right thing, and that doesn't mean that you can't have opinions about him, which is exactly where I sit. Okay, so we are going to move on quickly to the Britney Book Club. Yep. So again, we'll include speculation and opinion. Should not be taken as fact. Hi, YouTube human reviewer. Nothing explicit's going to be shown. Again, I'm being careful. So we're going to just quickly go through what are in chapters 18 to, I believe, where is it? I think it's chapter 25, 23. It's chapter 23. And we'll go through that. And I will say, if you are curious about this book at all, I think there's a lot of points in this section of the book review that may be interesting to you. And even if you're not super interested in the book, I think it gives some interesting perspective. This is specifically about her falling in love with K-Fed and the birth of the boys and everything that went down during that time. And people had opinions about all of that when that went down. So I did find these chapters to be very interesting. So we're just going to go through them all together. And again, I will catch up with your support when we are through it, just so I can focus and not forget to say things that are important. Okay, so chapter 18. Here we go. Britney explains that during the Onyx Hotel tour, she was struggling. It was a dark time and she felt the tour was dark and too adult, which kind of makes me sad because I love that tour. Literally, like, that's what this is from. When I got my custom Britney doll made, it's Onyx Hotel tour. That's how much I love this show. I like dark things though, so maybe that's part of it. Go back up. Okay. She also talks about her changing relationship with her brother Brian and how he started to work for her, and he got the deal with Elizabeth Arden for her fragrances. She was resentful that he got to enjoy his life while she was on a grueling tour. She hurt her knee one night, and 2 dates had to be rescheduled, but she was starting to check out. And that was when she met Mr. Paul Pozao. She met Kevin. And she speaks highly of him at the beginning of their relationship. She had no idea that he had a toddler or that his ex was pregnant. And yes, I have seen the reports surrounding that. And can I please just say, I highly doubt, the first few times they were hanging out together and sparks were flying and they were probably, having a great time and whatever, that was something that came up in conversation. Do you really think that Kevin was going to be forthcoming about that? I'm just asking. I have questions. If she didn't know at the beginning, I believe her that she didn't know at the beginning, and that's that. Sorry, that's how I feel. And yeah. So Kevin went on tour with her, and Britney prayed for something to break so her tour would stop. And manifesting queen that she is, she fell at the outrageous photo shoot or the video shoot, and her tour was scrapped, the video was scrapped, everything was scrapped, and she had to have surgery on her knee. So that ended that. That's how that happened. And she felt like she went back to work too soon after the Justin breakup, that she hadn't healed. So she decided to move forward in her life, and Kevin and her got married. And with that, they started to say no to things that she didn't feel was right. For example, like going back on tour and stuff like that. She wrote a letter to her fans letting them know that she was ready to take control of her life and to say no. She then fired her managers, and that whole era of life started. So chapter 19, she admits in this chapter, she talks about her pregnancy and how she apparently loved having fun and food. And she admits that she actually became mean due to her prenatal depression. Sean Preston was born, and then very quickly she became pregnant again. And the paparazzi aggression started to increase, and they were intrusive. And she was viewed as an unfit mother. She was criticized for her weight and not wearing makeup. And she reflects on the video that paparazzi took of her, where it appears that she almost dropped her son, Sean Preston. And I wanted to read this part to you guys because I thought it was really good. If you watch the video and you don't just look at the still photos, you can see while carrying a cup of water in one hand and my baby in the other arm, my heel turned and I almost went down, but I didn't fall. And in catching myself, I didn't drop either the water or the baby, who, by the way, was completely unfazed. This is why I need a boom, I said to the camera, which probably didn't go over well, but I was at my wit's end. These magazines seem to love nothing more than a photo they could run with the headline, Britney Spears got huge. Look, she's not wearing any makeup, as if those two things were some kind of sin, as if gaining weight was something unkind I'd done to them personally, a betrayal. At what point did I promise to say 17 for the rest of my life? You go, Brit. You go, Brittany. And that's when we get into chapter 20. And Kevin decided to try to make it as a musician. Do we all remember Popozow? Popozow. But Brittany was supportive of it. She wanted him to have his own thing and she wanted him to, express himself and that type of thing. But she couldn't stay while he was working because they were smoking a lot of the green and it made her feel sick. And she also was pregnant. So she had to put the baby first. So she stayed home. And she tried to tell herself that everything was okay, but Kevin was so focused on his career and his demeanor changed, and she feared that he would leave her like he did his ex. So she flew out to New York to see him, but he refused to see her. One time he came home later from a party and said that at the party, Justin Timberlake was there. Lindsay Lohan was there too. Kevin was enthralled with fame, and it really bothered Britney. And so in the book, she says, she thought to herself, do you think I care about your stupid party? I thought, do you have any idea how many parties like that I've gone to? I've known some of those people for longer than I've known you. Do you know how much I went through in my years with Justin? No, you know none of it. I didn't say that, but I wanted to say a whole lot more. Yeah. She said that some people are good with fame and others are not. She says people like Jennifer Lopez have handled fame well with like grace and dignity, but Kevin did not. um, and she then also went on to say, at the time of that rough trip to New York, I should have known my marriage was over, but I still thought it might be salvageable. Later, Kevin moved on to another studio, this one in Las Vegas. So I went there, hoping to talk to him. And when I found him, he had his head shaved. He was getting ready to shoot the cover of his album. He was in the studio all the time. He really thought he was a rapper now. Bless his heart, because he did take it so seriously. Yeah, that's the bless his heart moment right there. I see Daily Dysfunction said that pic. Yeah, I felt like that was a good picture to go with this. It made me laugh. I'm not gonna lie. He rejected seeing her again in Las Vegas, and she went back to the hotel. And one of her brother's old friends knocked on the door, and this would be her future fiance and co-conservator, Jason Trewick. He had heard what had happened and asked her how she was and genuinely cared. And she wondered when was the last time that anyone had ever asked her that. Chapter 21. Once Jaden James was born, Brittany started to feel a bit better. She said she felt so light and she seemed to fall back in love with her body, but she was worried for her boy's safety with the paparazzi. She obsessed over her new dream house. She apologizes to contractors saying that she cared way too much and was too controlling. And she wouldn't let others hold Jaden. She says she felt like she was aging backwards and felt childlike, and she reflects on her own childhood trauma, her desire to keep her children safe, and also struggling with the depression that she was experiencing. So this was a really tough time for her, and I think she was just looking for control wherever she could find it, which is very common when things are spiraling. And I totally get that of why she was at that point. So chapter 22, she begins to work on Blackout and talks about working with Danger, Nate Hills. She loved it. It was a nice change of pace from everything else going on in her life. Her marriage was falling apart, the paparazzi being so invasive, and she said they were like an army of zombies. She's very proud of Blackout. She said it was easy and satisfying, but does admit that Gimme More isn't the best video she's ever done. Kevin continued to get swept up by fame. He got an offer to do a Super Bowl commercial, making fun of himself. And after that, she basically never saw him. So we move into chapter 23, and Britney talks about the divorce in this chapter. In this chapter, there's a lot, and I feel like it should just be read by the general public. So I'm going to do that. So she said, "When I married Kevin, I meant it with all my heart. If you look in my eyes in those wedding photos, you can see it. I was so in love and ready for a new phase in my life to start. I wanted babies with this man. I wanted a cozy home. I wanted to grow old with him. My lawyer told me that if I didn't file for divorce, Kevin would. What I gathered from this was that Kevin wanted to file for divorce, but he felt guilty doing it. He knew it would make him look better publicly if I was the one who filed. And my lawyer told me that Kevin was going to file for divorce no matter what. What I was led to believe that it would be better if I did it first, so I wasn't humiliated. I didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't want to be embarrassed. So in early November 2006, when Jaden was almost 2 months old, I filed the papers. Kevin and I both asked for full custody of the boys. What I did not understand was that Kevin would then insist I pay for his legal bills. And because legally I had set the divorce in motion, I would be responsible in the press for having broken up my young family. The media attention was crazy, and it was probably good for Kevin's album, which came out a week before we announced our divorce. But I was vilified. Some people tried to be supportive, but in the press, they often did this by being cruel towards Kevin, which actually wasn't that helpful. And she also talks about the media reaction and how everyone seemed to be delighted about the divorce. But she closes it by saying, looking back, I think that both Justin and Kevin were very clever. They knew what they were doing, and I played right into it. That's the thing about this industry. I never knew how to play the game. I didn't know how to present myself on any level. I was a bad dresser. I'm still a bad dresser, and I'll admit that. And I work on that. But as much as I'll own my flaws, ultimately, I know that I'm a good person. I can see now that you have to be smart enough, vicious enough, deliberate enough to play the game, and I did not know the game. I was truly innocent, just clueless. I was a single mom of 2 little boys, and I didn't have time to fix my hair when I went out in a sea of photographers. So I was young, and I made a lot of mistakes. And I will say this: I wasn't manipulative. I was just stupid. That's one thing Justin and Kevin ruined about me. I used to trust people. But after the breakup with Justin and then my divorce, I never really did trust people again. That broke my heart. That broke my heart. And it's really sad, but I feel like that right there, I wish that's something she could have screamed from the rooftops back in 2006, 2007. Because this was the part of Britney that people forgot, that she was a human being, that she was a single mom, that she was going through all of this stuff. And I think a lot of us who, like I'm not a mom, I don't know what that's like. So I don't know what it's like to be a single mom. But we all have times where we go out of the house and our hair isn't perfect and our makeup isn't perfect and we don't look like a superstar because we're human beings. And sometimes stuff happens in life that just isn't our main focus. There's other stuff you've got to do. You've got to live your life. And that's what she was trying to do. But the rules have always been different for her, and that's not okay. It's ridiculous. And I'm so happy that she's had this time to be able to talk about that and be open about it, because everybody, I would argue, that said negative things about her and the way that she looked and everything else, I doubt they looked much better. I doubt they would look much better if they were under the same amount of pressure, of stress, of being followed constantly. I'm sorry, it was basically stalking. In my opinion, it was stalking. Um, and and imagine having an army of stalkers that got paid for stalking you, right? Like it's absolutely wild, and I can't we look at it now and it just seems so terrible, but at that time it was normal and she was judged so harshly for it. Now, the next part of the book club, we're going to be going into chapters 24 to 29. I think I might extend it a bit further because I think we have 4 parts left the way that I've divvied it up, but I think I may make it 3. But we'll figure it out. I'll let you guys know if things get updated. Um, but this is when we're going to get into the dark stuff. This is when we get into, you know, the things that she did in the press that became just a tabloid's dream. And how she, and the things when she struggled. So that's going to be the next one, just so you all know, and we'll get into that. But I think it's really important before we go into that to remember this. She did her best, and then the odds were stacked against her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many of us would have handled it better than she did. So that's the book club for now. So that's part 3 of the book club. And we now enter halftime. I'm going to catch up on the support that came in. Thank you so much to Buffy Rocks 01. Happy rough day. Buff Friday? Oh, Buff Friday. Okay, it's Kim. I've got to check out here. I just bought The Woman in Me on Audible. Yay! And I need to listen to it. Friday is Buff Friday, where I and friends watch Much Love to Family. Thank you very much, Buffy, for being here. I very much appreciate it. Much love to you. Have a great Friday. Have a great night. Thank you. Jean Rick also been a member for 9 months. Yay! Thank you, Jean Rick. OMG, K-Fed is trash. Honestly, that's kind of just been like the vibe here in this office for the past week. It's just been like Justin Timberlake and K-Fed are trash. And I'm reminded of, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, I think it's Funny or Die. They have a series where they talk about Zach Morris on Saved by the Bell. And it's literally just Zach Morris is trash. And he is in all honesty. It's brutal. But yeah, I've just kind of had like K-Fed is trash. Justin is trash going in my head the whole week. So that's very, very appropriate. Very appropriate. Oh my goodness. So how is everybody doing in this halftime? I don't know what is going on, but I love when I look at the comments and the first thing I see is do it for Dan. If I ever do merch, do we need a do it for Dan shirt? Somebody said Justin was such a Dan? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh yes. Holy Popo. Yeah, he is. Do it for Dan. Do it for Dan. Oh my gosh. It's funny. So Shauna, yes, do it for Dan shirts. I feel like we'd have to I don't even know how I would design that. I have to think about it. I kind of picture like a cartoon version of like a Karen yelling it. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. Yeah, do it for Dan. What? Houston? Yeah. Timberlake. Timberlake has a habit of destroying half times. Oh my gosh. Emotional damage. Emotional damage. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Sorry. That was good. Those are always those moments when it's like, okay, you got to get your composure back. You got to get your composure back. Yes. But in our halftime, I would love to know, where are you guys watching from? What are you drinking? If you're drinking anything or eating anything, let me know. It's always a good conversation. I'm still finishing my smoothie from breakfast. I have a problem with strawberry banana smoothies. I have them too much, but I don't care. It's been my favorite one for like 20 years, and I don't get sick of it. That and pizza. Those 2 foods. Never get sick of it. Them and pizza. And yeah, Smoothies, pizza, and chocolate. Always good stuff. Always good stuff. All right. So seeing where you guys are at now, it's starting to come. Asher's having water in Michigan. Billy Cat in Norfolk, UK. Ray in Vienna, Austria, drinking mulled wine. Fancy. All right. Very cool. Chicago and drinking iced coffee. Yes. Purple Rose Gamer in England, drinking water. Sorry. Oh, Cheryl Lee's daughter has a birthday?
Yes.
Happy birthday, Cheryl Lee's daughter. Or is it okay, so it's not Cheryl's birthday. It's Cheryl's daughter's birthday. Happy birthday, Cheryl's daughter. Have a wonderful day. Hope you're having a great day. Sorry, things got weird. I just saw producer sister's comment. I'm 4th feet from you and drinking water. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. 4th feet. Yes. Oh my goodness, I'm seeing Katie is in Southern California. DVD is in Tampa Bay. DVD, I hope you saw when I said thank you for the PayPal earlier. I hope you did. I really very much appreciated that. Thank you. Also, I think we saw King Bob in here earlier too. I hope you saw that. Thank you. Thank you, King Bob. So Project Metal Music and Sunderland, UK. Brian's having a cheeseburger. You are his cheeseburger, his yummy cheeseburger. That's going to be the next VeggieTales thing, I think, quite possibly. Oh. I'm not sure how to say your name. Amirians? I'm terrible. I'm terrible at reading new words. I very much apologize. But it's awesome that you're getting pizza in Ireland. That sounds amazing. I'd love to get pizza in Ireland. Denise, raspberry Arizona iced tea. My fella gives you the thumbs up on that one. Jennifer, watching from the pits of despair, drinking the souls of my enemies, as you should. I hope you get out of the pits of despair, though. But I mean, yeah. You do what you got to do, man. Totally. Totally. Joanne, Nova Scotia, eating pierogies. I love pierogies. Love, love, love pierogies. Brian is in San Francisco. Brittany is coffee in North Carolina. Very nice. I haven't been to North Carolina forever. I don't mind North Carolina. It's a nice place. Chicago and a Pepsi. Good times, Maria. Thank you very much. All right. That's good. Shauna also just sent in a super chat, which you did not have to do, but thank you. Thank you for the Friday stream. Much better than working on spreadsheets. Oh, I don't know what you do, but I just laugh because can you pass me your sign, producer sister? So producer sister does a lot of work in statistics. She's very, very good at it. Yeah, literally, I think someone made this for you, right? One of her past coworkers.
When I left.
Yeah, bestie coworkers literally made her this. Ooh, this calls for a spreadsheet. Because literally, like, yeah, if a spreadsheet can be made out of it, producer sister will do it. Hands down. Producer sister loves Excel. I love PowerPoint. She loves Excel. It's a good time. It's a good time. Oh my gosh, Katie, the VeggieTales. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I do want to keep going because we have 2 What the Wuts today. One is a saga, and one is what I have added as an honorary What the Wut, because I saw this morning and I had a moment where I was just like, my jaw hit the floor. So I wanted to share this with you because I think some of you guys may appreciate this. Here we go. Okay. So let me pull this up. So this is Carrie Burke. She is a somatic behavioral coach, an Emmy-winning choreographer, a dancer, and an aerialist. And she seems to be a lovely person. The link to her Instagram is in the description as well. All the credit to her for this content, 100%. So go check her out. She seems like a lovely person. I'm gonna be following her starting today because I like literally just found out about her. She came up in my like suggested reels thing, so that's how I found it. Um, so basically, a couple days ago, she posted a picture of herself on Instagram with a Halloween look that she did of makeup. Right? So she did like kind of like the cool, like the glitter tear, and she did like the black kind of contour and like the dark lip and everything else. And I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was neat. But for some reason, some crazy person, and I know that that can be a mean thing to say, but like this, I don't know what's wrong with this person. This disturbed person called her phone. She called her phone. She found her phone number. Doesn't know this person. Called her and left a voicemail critiquing her makeup. And I have the voicemail here. I've had to censor it a little bit, but the credit for this video goes to Carrie. And again, the link is in the description. And in the words of K-Fed, y'all ain't ready. I was not ready. So, but here we go. Can you guys hear it? Can you guys let me know if you hear it? If you heard that clip? No audio? There's no audio? Oh no. Okay, hang on a second. No. Okay, I may need a second to get this up. I tested it and it worked. I hate it when that happens. Okay. Hopefully this will work. It may be a little bit quiet, so I will stay quiet. I apologize. We're going to go over here. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, here we go.
I'm looking at your Instagram right now, and I'm looking at your post from one day ago captioned, "It's spooky season." And I just want to give you some pointers on your makeup because, well, I mean, for one, your hair looks greasy as fuck, but that's not what this is about. You look like the Pillsbury Doughboy. You look like the Undertaker. So I feel like, for starters, your eyebrows, like, I don't know what the thought process was there. You look like the Wolverine. Maybe make them a little bit thinner. And then as for the makeup itself, your face is very patchy. You look like a Cabbage Patch Kid. So I think you should use a foundation that has higher coverage. Let me see. What else is going on here? Your lipstick, I think you need to use some Vaseline or something because your lips look very chapped. And I don't know how old you are, but you look 10 years older. Like some SPF would really do you a solid. That's all. I hope this helps. Have a wonderful day and God bless. Hey.
And God bless y'all. Yes. So some random person she doesn't even know went out of her way to find her phone number and leave this voicemail on her phone. Who does that? Like, what? I was so like incredibly shocked, and I didn't even know where to begin. So I have a little mini rant here. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to my little slideshow here. There we go. Back to this lovely picture. Okay. Anyone who hides behind an account or doesn't give identifying information about themselves is doing so for a reason. And I'm calling out every single guy that makes these comments about how women are not up to their standards when they're sitting here with a beard that's covering half their face, sunglasses that are bigger than what Paris Hilton wears, and a baseball cap, and we can't tell who you are. Okay? Like, I'm sorry. It's just ridiculous. But sometimes the anonymity is because they're trying to protect themselves, but I find it's often just because some people just want to be wild Karens frolicking through the world with absolutely no consequence to the absolute vitriol that they are spewing. They view it almost like it's a sport because they are that insecure, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. So whenever anyone has judged my appearance online, I kind of just sit back and go like, well, your face isn't in your DP. Your name isn't here for people to know who you are. You could literally look like a humanized version of a dodo bird and nobody would ever know. But that leads me to think that you are so wounded that you have to fire cheap shots whether they're true or not, just to make yourself feel better. And the only people that do this have the emotional intelligence of a rock. So that just makes me feel sorry for you. But I am absolutely amazed that a photo of this woman doing her makeup has triggered someone this deeply. To me, this is the definition of a snowflake. It's sad. And I have to say, the criticism that she looks like a Pillsbury Doughboy, the Undertaker, Wolverine, and a Cabbage Patch doll is the most unhinged visualization I have heard this year. That is a whole nother level. I don't even know where to begin. Because I'm sorry, this does not equate that. It doesn't. It just doesn't. It doesn't. And not only that, but it was so unhinged. I put it in multiple AI generators. 2 of them broke. They couldn't do it. And the third one I put in gave me these lovely images. And I can tell you, Carrie, if you ever see this, you do not look like the combination of someone who looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy, the wrestler, the Undertaker, Marvel's Wolverine, and a Cabbage Patch doll. I can say that with confidence, and I can say it with AI intelligence. It's fact. Okay, we're done. But I did want to show you guys Carrie's response because I think it's incredible. And it is a level, in my opinion, of compassion that this person did not deserve in the least. So here it is. I know it's a bit small. I'm going to read it so you guys can hear it. So she said, "My darling," to this person that left the voicemail, "I am not sure who you are or how you got my number, but this voicemail makes me hurt for you. I can't even imagine what is going on in your heart if a simple picture on Instagram can cause this reaction. I hope that you can someday feel the freedom of loving your imperfections and knowing they're what make you beautifully you, not suffering to live up to impossible and detrimental beauty standards. I love looking at my natural and textured skin because it reminds me how far I've come in taking care of and loving myself. In my early 20s, I consciously chose not to wear foundation anymore to protect the health of my skin. I wore heavy foundation daily for decades. I'm not 100% sure what she means by this because early 20s would tell me that she hadn't been, but I don't know. Because she wore heavy makeup and then it was the most freeing thing in the world to stop wearing makeup and to start loving who I am. I hope you get there. I'm rooting for you to find the softness and love for yourself and the women in your world. Life is hard enough without us tearing each other down." Can we just get like a round of applause for this woman? Like, I would have been so freaked out with someone like stepping out of their way to really try to get under my skin, like finding my real phone number and things like that. It's just super weird. But I think it's absolutely incredible. I think it's incredible. And yeah, and I thought you guys would like that because it was just the most wild thing. Yeah, producer sister, yeah, I'm going to completely break you down and try to destroy your self-confidence, but it's all good because I said God bless at the end. This is why people say there's no hate like Christian love. Straight up. Because y'all do stuff like this. Jesus would like to be excluded from this narrative. That's all I'm trying to say. So I got to check something quickly. My lips are doing weird things. Do you guys like, I hate that. When like you think you have everything set and then it moves. Why they do that? Why they do that? All right, we're good. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, yeah, Brian. Brian's comment, where are you? I don't need your blessings. I don't want them. Yeah. Candace, please get Jesus out of this foolishness. Yeah, ridiculous. But yeah, right, Katie, that was a roller coaster ride. I was not expecting that. And I mean, I was literally sitting down and doing my makeup for the show, and this pops up, and I'm like, what am I even listening to? Like, how did this happen? But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to, like, go send this lady some love. You go, Carrie. I'm happy for you. Like, you're awesome. Yeah, don't listen to them. They suck. They're meanies. Exactly. She a whole Karen. Whole Karen. Oh, the whole thing. All of it. Deluxe edition. Insane. Oh. Shauna. Oh yes, you already did that. Yes, I saw that one. Thank you very much for the super chat, Shauna. And then also Elisa Marion gifted 5 memberships. What are we at now? 35? You guys are amazing. Thank you. So kind of you. And Joanne, who has been a member for 8 months, thank you very much. Great stream, Kim. Love the chapter readings. Well, thank you. Thank you. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm trying to get through it. And I know there's some people that can't get the book, but I'm trying. I don't want to do like a whole reading of it. It's a lot for my throat. But I wanted to go through it and talk about it and give context in certain places. I think it's important. Jean Rick just sent in a super chat. Thank you very much. Kim, just wanted to say your coverage of Britney's book is spot on, and thank you. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. I try. I try really hard. Brian, Ultimate Karen 3000. Yeah. Kyle. Say no. I have to tell you guys, last Friday, so a week ago today, we had a members only stream. So if you there's 35 of you now that can watch it that couldn't have seen it last week, I guess. Where we went into Britney's dark family history. And it was a really tough stream to do because it's dark. It is dark. And what we decided to do at the end of it was we tried to lighten up the mood a bit and we watched some funny things. So I would say that even if you're not necessarily into the dark Britney stuff, the second half of that stream, and there's timestamps if you guys want to see it. Oh my gosh. We went off the rails a bit. It was a lot of fun. Highly recommend. It was a lot of fun. Maria just said, "Can we see producer sister, please?" No. Producer sister has not she's not in a place where she wants to be on camera right now. She has every right to do that. There's a lot of YouTubers that choose to not show their faces for various reasons. Sometimes it's security, privacy, all those types of things. We are working on getting producer sister hooked up with a microphone. So as she put it today, she can be like the head space angel, because with the space angel lore, it's that I'm surrounded by angels that I can hear. Like I can hear them talking to me, but I can't see them. So yeah, literally, like she is the one that you can hear full blast, but you can't see her. So it fits, but that's the plan moving forward. Let me see. Joanne, oh my gosh, Joanne gifted 5 memberships. My goodness. Joanne, that's very generous of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. So we're at 40? Yeah. Holy crapola. Okay. That's a lot. Whew. Okay. KDR74 said this better not turn into another Sniper Wolf situation where Karen finds her address. We will riot. I will riot. Oh, Ray just said, sorry, producers. It's okay. It's fine. It's nothing to be sorry about. I completely understand the question. I think we both completely understand the question. It's just, you have to decide when you're ready to do that for a number of reasons. And it is a choice. And when you choose to do that, you are making a choice that's going to affect you for the rest of your life. I had a lot of peace with it almost immediately. And I was good with it. And I know YouTubers who have been successful on this platform and they are still not in a place where they are comfortable with that. So it's really it's everyone's individual thing, and I'm not going to force anybody to do that. Because and again, like very topical. Thank you Katie Artist 94 for what you said there. Like these situations happen. Right? Like people get unhinged, people get crazy, and it's very scary. So we do what we can to protect and everything else. Alrighty. So are you guys ready for saga? Are we ready for a what the what? Producer sister has found a saga. And oddly enough, it doesn't seem that this one is related to family drama. It is not related to family drama. We found one that is not family. All right. I have not seen this at all. I have no idea what I am walking into in this moment. This is what producer sister has put together for me and us to react to. Thank you very much, Danny Scales, for the super sticker. Is the pear. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I am also going to say, please remember to hit that like button. Please consider subscribing if you have not. We are trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. This algorithm's killing me. It's so bad. It's not. I'm trying. I'm like Elaine right now. It's just I'm trying. And doing my best. Okay, so if you send in support, I will read it at the end. I may take a break midway, depending. We'll see. Depends on how my voice is doing. And let's go. So we did just want to let you guys know there were parts of this, because it was very long, that were edited for time and clarity. So if you want to read the full, unedited, uncensored, all of it, you can check it out in the links. The links are also available in the doc. It is 26 slides, counting this one. So it's long. It's long. But it was the things that were edited or clarified were specifically for clarification purposes, and also just because we didn't necessarily need them to be able to continue moving forward. Just full disclaimer. So the original post happened on July 13th of 2022. Okay, so this happened at the end of this school year. I posted what was going on in the Reddit/teacher group, and several of the people there told me to post what happened in here. The story is in 4 parts, and I apologize for the length. Don't apologize. I also apologize for any teacher slang I use, as it is like second nature to use it, just like military cargo when I was in the military. Basically, I was told that all assistant/vice principals in the district, other than at the high school, were being let go, and a teacher on assignment was going to take our jobs. I was not heartbroken over this, but I was treated badly by the new admin team taking my job and principal's job. Also, I tried to help my staff on the way out, and it seems my bosses cared more for their images than my staff's happiness. So here is the story. Part 1. So none of the other admin in my district had received our contracts for the coming school year yet. I was wondering what was going on, but I heard rumors about a pay scale shift, and that was the reason for it. I found out Wednesday what actually was happening. Every assistant principal and vice principal in the district, we have 2 different titles, I have no idea, is not getting renewed contracts except for the ones at high school. Their positions are being eliminated, and their jobs are being replaced with a new position that pays a teacher's salary, plus a $2,000 stipend bonus, I guess. They're replacing assistant principals with learning coordinators. Apparently, the budget is the given reason. I also heard rumors from someone at the district office. Each of us, assistant principals or VPs, were scheduled to meet with one of the assistant supers Wednesday. We thought it was about our contracts, and we were correct. When I arrived, the acting superintendent was there with the head of HR, and I was told about the elimination of my position, but not the reasons why. When I was given the option for the coming, I was then given an option for the coming school year. I could get back into the classroom, I could work at the district office, or I could apply and interview for the new position that is replacing my job. What?
Wrap it up with a new name so they can pay less. A lot of companies do this.
I mean, okay, I understand the wrapping it up as a new position, less money, all that. But why would you have to? I'm sorry, I don't feel like you should have to apply to see if you're a good candidate for the position you already have.
Because they're rebranding it as a new one. They can't lay you off under law for a position that still exists, because they're claiming that position.
Yeah. Producer sister's explaining HR rules, and like I know that, but I'm just saying that it's stupid.
Yes.
Like it's so dumb. It's so dumb Like if you have someone that's already qualified to do the job and they're willing to continue doing the job for less pay and you don't have to train them, like, gosh. Yeah, WTF. Exactly. Yeah, WTF. I wouldn't care one lick if I was told the position had been cut completely and I needed to go back to the classroom. I love the classroom. I miss teaching full time. However, to tell me to apply for an interview for a job I already have is BS. Yes. We were told to give the district our answers by Friday and we would drop some contracts or schedule interviews. Wednesday afternoon, I went to see Tony, who is an assistant superintendent and one of the few decent leaders in the school district. I had heard from Tony that there was an internal shakeup, but he wasn't allowed to talk about it or even give me a hint about what happened. However, one of the assistant supers was being reassigned, aka demoted, to being principal of my current school. And my principal was not coming back due to health reasons. The superintendent was released from his contract, and my school's new learning coordinator position had already been filled. Who filled it? A school counselor from one of the high schools that just happens to be a friend and lackey of the assistant super. That is now the new principal. Oh! So we're doing a good old boys club. All right. Ridiculous. So early this morning, I gave them my answer. I decided I didn't need until Friday. I tried to make sure I sounded professional, but I made sure that my message was getting across by speaking with authority. Good for you. I went into the acting superintendent's office and I told him that I thought laying off a bunch of people so they could hire others to do the same job, but at less pay, was BS. Truth. I told him that the way the school district handled certain situations was idiotic. I gave him several examples. I told him that he was going to ruin a perfectly good school with an amazing team of educators by putting a lazy, mean, parent-pleasing person in as its new principal and letting her put a lackey as her second in command. I said that she was useless as a screen door on a submarine, as and as mean as Dolores Umbridge. As useless as a screen door on a submarine. I love creative insults like that. It's amazing. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I want to add that to my vocabulary. That is incredible. And also the Dolores Umbridge is a nice touch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Sarah B. Hang on, I gotta get on a full screen here to put this up. Yeah. As useless as a screen door on a submarine. Legendary. 100%. Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. Okay. I finished the 3-minute speech by stating that I will work my butt off until the end of the school year strong. I will prep things for the next school year so that the teachers have an easier time. I also let him know that I would never work at or recommend this district to anyone ever again. Then I left letting him know that I expect an amazing letter of recommendation by the end of the school day Friday afternoon, since I earned it for my service the last few years. So what am I going to do now? Well, I called up an old friend Wednesday who is currently a principal at a STEAM charter school. So that's science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Okay. Charter school that's part of a chain charter STEAM schools, and asked if he had a teaching position available. He's been asking me every year for the past 5 years to come and work for him. He told me he had 3 openings and I could have my pick of them. So next year, I will be a, drumroll please, 6th grade teacher, and I'm very happy about it. I even get to design my curriculum as long as it meets their state standards. Good for you! That's awesome. I could apply elsewhere for admin positions, but I think I need a break from school leadership. I need to love the work again like I used to as a teacher. Yes, there were/are many challenges, and sometimes I hated going to work, but I do love being a teacher. I feel bad for my current staff because the regime change will hit them hard, but there's nothing I can do about it. I wish I could help them. The most I could do would be take a teaching position at my current school, but then I would be miserable with them and helpless to do anything to aid them. So for myself and my daughter, who I love more than anything, I am making the move to a new school and going back to what I enjoy doing, teaching. I'm even bringing my daughter to the new school to start next year as 5th grader. I asked her if she wanted to stay at her current school instead of going to the STEAM school with me, and she wants to go with me. She was excited since she's visited there several times and loves the technology room, the robotics class, and the science labs. Plus, she's friends with some of the kids there already. Great. That's awesome. As a goodbye to myself and the staff, I'm going out this weekend and I'm going to buy some nice letter paper and scratcher tickets. I'm going to write short, individualized goodbyes to each of my staff members, and at the end, I will include the following words. I'm giving you some scratcher tickets. My hope is that you are as lucky scratching them as I have been lucky to have worked with you. So that's it. I have to finish my contract, but at the end of June, I am free. I'm looking forward to teaching again full time. Again, having a boss who will let me just do my job and not interfere. I don't think I want to work in administration again, but maybe after a few years, I will decide to work as an AP again. All right. Part 2. Here we go. My lashes are being weird. I apologize. Okay. So I put together goodbye gifts for my staff, and I'll be handing them out on Friday, their last day with the kids. They have a bunch of goodies that I posted about weeks ago. I was thinking this weekend about how to give the finger one more time. Sorry? I'm confused. I was thinking this weekend about how to give the finger, give the finger. Oh yeah, one more time to the district office and help my teachers out, even in a small way. So I came with it on Sunday night. You go. You use that finger. My district requires each teacher to attend additional training throughout the year. These are outside of the regular staff development trainings. They are run by the district staff, special ed teachers, and admin. The training normally lasts 1 to 3 hours, and the teachers get a certificate for the time spent on the training. Each teacher is required to attend 24 hours of these before the end of the school year. Most teachers take them over the summer if they are offered, so they don't have to take them during the school year. So yesterday morning before work, I was making copies of the certificates for all of the courses I have run here the past few years. Classroom management strategies, lockdown procedures, social studies strategies, math strategies, reading comprehension, and environmental print. And I'm going to fill them out with each of the teachers' names and number of hours, adding in all the times I ever spoke to the staff about these topics and putting down hours to correspond, rounding up to the nearest hour-ish. Okay, so they don't have to do the training through the summer. Yeah. Oh, this seems like a nice dude. Wouldn't you know, each of these topics was 3 to 5 hours in length. Each staff member will have exactly 24 hours worth of training. I filled out the dates of the training for the 2002-2003 school year. Oh, sorry, 2022-2023. My eyes. Oh, and I have attendance sheets with all of their names, and I have them marked as being present. Note, I checked with the district, and since I am still administrator into the summer, I am allowed to run these trainings over the summer before I leave. Now, they can have their summer to themselves and not worry about taking classes during the school year. If they can if they wish, but 99% of teachers here hate the mandatory training hours. I hope the staff likes the present. I think they will. Part 3. Since Friday, I am no longer a school administrator. I technically have another week to work, but I took a vacation during that time because, well, screw them. Yeah. Now, I spent last week packing up and giving aid and comfort to my now former staff and causing problems for the new administrators who are a-holes. And now, besides giving the entire staff a free year from additional professional development, I wasn't planning on causing any more problems. Just quietly leave and drive off into the sunset, Shane style. But no! Apparently, I don't deserve a quiet week. The new principal, demoted from assistant super, and her new teacher on assignment decided for some reason to be rude to me. There was only one response to that. I aimed to misbehave. Why are they messing with this guy? Like,
They picked the wrong.
There's just some people, it's like, if you push them, they're going to push back.
Yep.
And it's going to be creative.
Yep.
Right? Like, it's going to be a thing. I feel like that's this person. Just don't do that. How were they rude to me, you ask? First off, they ordered me to hurry and clean up my office. Apparently, the TOA wanted to start redecorating my office. I was literally told, get your personal stuff out of here ASAP. She wants her office now. I still had a week to work there and actual work to do. Oh my gosh. Second, the new principal tried to steal my personal chair and my personal office supplies and decoration. No! That chair was a gift from me from a friend. I found her wheeling it out of my office and into hers. My desk supplies and a banner from my wall were stacked on its seat. I told her that was my personal chair, not the district's. She said, okay. The very next morning, I found it missing. She had moved it into her office after I left for the day. No! Mm-mm. That bothers me. Sorry. I have had some office chairs that are horrible. Absolutely horrible. I don't know if any of you guys have. I'm pretty sure one of them I was in actually messed up my back so bad it landed me in the hospital. I'm not kidding. And I am very thankful that I have found my secret lab chair. I love this chair. Ain't nobody taking this chair from me. No one. No one. I will fight you. It's ridiculous. And it's like once you find one that doesn't hurt you, like you don't want to lose it. And especially if it's yours. Like no. I know that sounds super petty, but just no, we don't do that. Third, I was given a list of tasks to complete by Friday by the TOA, who is in no way, shape, or form my boss. And these were not my job to do, and in fact are the incoming admin's duty to complete. Stuff the new admin are supposed to do. Things like put together new staff packets, schedule next year's professional development, which they won't really need to do, but okay, and fill out the submit request forms, etc. Finally, I was talked down to every single time by the new admin team. I was spoken to as if I were hired help and they were the royal B words. Seriously, I speak to a waitress that messes up my order with 10 times the amount of respect that they showed me. I'm actually trying to get my attention, and they actually tried to get my attention by snapping their fingers at me. Like that would work. Wow. I mean, I snap my fingers as a nervous habit, but Note, the new principal has also made some pretty anti-LGBTQ comments. I don't like narrow-minded people. So I decided to do what I was told. Like I was a soldier, I know how to follow orders. I removed everything that was my personal property, and that included my chairs, decorations, stress relievers, punching bag, etc. You know, punching bag in your office? Oh my gosh. The fridge from the office and the filing cabinets in my office. Yes, I brought government surplus cabinets because I didn't have any. All of my files and all of my former principal files were in there. I had even bought the manila folders I used in it. Oh, they probably had no idea. So I took every piece of paper out of my cabinets, removed them from their labeled folders, stacked them on the floor into one large pile. There is no order to how they are stacked. Ah! The inner file girl in me is screaming. Oh my gosh, that is so brilliant. Brilliant. I took my chair from my principal's office while she was meeting with parents. I just walked in, rolled it out. She stopped talking to the parents to ask what I was doing, and I responded that I was taking my personal property out ASAP as I was ordered to do. I had an old medium-sized fridge I'd placed in the office workroom for office staff to store their food in, but it's mine, so I took the fridge. I brought it right out the front door and loaded it into my truck. I even took the new admin's food out of it and left it on the table. It's my fridge. I warned the rest of the office I was taking it, but I forgot to tell the admin. Darn. He woke up and chose violence. I like him. He's fun. Yeah. We would be friends. I copied all my digital files over to a flash drive and then deleted everything off of the Google Work Drive. Anything I personally created or designed. Copied all my emails too. I informed the staff that if they need time off next year, I needed approved to submit the forms with me this week. I got several and they are all now approved. I got this idea from someone who messaged me here on Reddit and suggested I do this. Thank you for the advice. I approved every supply list that the staff submitted and even drove to one of the district warehouses to pick up some items personally. I even approved funds for a second-hand kiln. Oh, cool. For the art teacher. She found a good one on Craigslist. I'd repaired my desk with bolts and tools from home. I took the bolts back. Oh my gosh, she's so petty. Oh, that's petty. That's petty. Oh, wow. My desk is now lopsided again. The closet door was broken when I got there, so I repaired it. I've now put it back as it was when I was hired. This guy's a legend. Oh my gosh. The two-way mirror to the detention room was mine. I had gotten it from a friend in another school, different district, allowed me to watch in-school suspension and detention students from my office without them seeing me. I popped that right out and took it home. Now the TOA has a hole in the wall and the detention kids can look through. This man is a legend. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. King Bob, I think I just got your PayPal you just sent me. Thank you very much for the mic. I appreciate that. I will be putting it towards the equipment we need to get that up and running for Producer Sister so we can laugh at this stuff together. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, I'm breathing. I'm breathing. Okay. I had to put together the lockdown buckets and fire drilled bags myself with my own money. I took all of them back. This I felt bad about, but I will be giving them out to the staff at my new school. I put a rush order on all classroom and building repairs that have an approved order to have every classroom repainted. I assembled all new staff packets for the new year school binders. Beside the basics of what is required, I have included throughout the binders in random places Dilbert cartoons, famous Harry Potter quotes, the lyrics to Nickelback's How You Remind Me, I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry, All Star by Smash Mouth, and We Built This City by Starship. A map of the area where I marked all the good places to eat lunch off campus. Funny Far Side teachers comics, cheesy teacher jokes, a union contact info, crossword Sudoku, and word searches. A list of educational lawyers just in case. I also included the binder the admin Wi-Fi password for them since the signal is stronger for some reason. I love him. I love him. Can I please just ask, like, what part of I Kissed a Girl it's in the booklet? Watch it literally be he opens at the first page, it just says, this was not the thing I planned, not my intention. Oh my gosh, the chaos. I want to look at these lyrics now. I Kissed a Girl. Katy Perry. Oh my goodness. Why are they coming up in French? Sorry, I just Googled it and it came up in French. I don't have my Google set to French. Ugh. Yeah, literally the first thing. So this was never the way I planned, not my intention. I got so brave, drink in hand, lost my discretion. Watch that be like the first thing they open. Like here's the educational lawyer. That's here. That's here. Oh. Oh my gosh. That's funny. That's really funny. Okay. I went ahead and wrote out the PD schedule for the next year. Oddly, every Wednesday is listed as free time or work in your classroom. I'm sure they will change it. I don't know when they will find out what it says. I had a master list of donators and partners in the community. It was posted on a whiteboard in my office. I got over 4 dozen businesses and people in the community to help with various things or donate over the years. I spent a lot of my time building relationships with them and making deals. I took a photo of it and then I erased the list. And I took the whiteboard since it was mine. It was also mine. Friday, I flew the LGBTQ plus flag instead of the state flag. I also placed LGBTQ plus flags in each classroom in case the staff wants to display it. Oh my gosh! Inclusivity! Yes! Then I got yelled at 3 times. The first was when I took back my chair. I was told it was unprofessional to just take it without asking, especially with the guests present. I responded with, yes, it was unprofessional of you to take my chair without asking. The second time was when the TOA found the refrigerator gone. She said it was community property. I told her, no, it's my property, and I was told to take all of my property from campus. The third time was when I was in the parking lot leaving and they found the piles of papers. The principal flagged me down and told me to clean up. I told her I was off the clock and the district never reimbursed me for the cabinet, so I had to take them with me. I was expecting a call from HR today asking for my assistance setting everything back up with all my stuff removed and erased, and the admin team had actually put some but the admin team has to actually put in some hard work. I'd come in for my consultant rate. $75 an hour in a minimum contract of 12 hours. Part 4. I love this guy. I love this guy. That's what I mean. And the thing is, you very rarely find out that a person is like this when you get to this stage. You know not to push them.
Well, they're new coming in, though.
But I mean, you don't push people like this. You don't do that. Because sometimes you're going to get bit, you know? So some of you know, I left the world of being an administrator a couple weeks ago. I tried to leave behind some nice gifts when I left. I wasn't looking to cause problems my last few weeks, but the new admin team treated me in a way that was unacceptable. So I decided that Malcolm Reynolds had it right when he said I aim to misbehave. Well, the Tuesday after I left, I received a call from HR. I ignored it. And then I left for a road trip with my daughter, and we went to San Francisco for a few days and went to 2 Giants games. Unfortunately, they lost both games. While we were on our trip, they called and emailed my personal account. The work one was deleted by them. I ignored my calls and never opened my emails. My daughter and I then went to Disneyland for a few days of fun and then returned this past Friday. I then checked the voicemails and emails. I was asked, begged, and then ordered to come into HR for some important meetings. You don't get to order people you fired. You don't.
Nope.
If you told them to vacate the office, if you said you can't do this anymore, take your stuff and leave, everything else, you can't order them to do anything.
You don't work there anymore.
You have no power here. This is like the equivalent of Dan's family trying to get into the house and being like, we live here now. No, you don't. You have no legal authority to do this. You should have thought about it earlier. Like, it's very important that we speak to you as soon as possible, is what they said repeatedly. Okay, so yesterday I went to the district office wearing cargo shorts, and a shirt I got at Disneyland, flip-flops. I don't work there, so I don't need to dress up. Show up in your house coat, for all I care. When I arrived, I was originally treated like a visiting VIP. Oh, the kiss up is always great. The HR manager and her assistant tried to butter me up like the Pillsbury biscuit. After a few minutes of them trying to make small talk and letting me know that I had plans to go to lunch in 30 minutes, they got to the point. They wanted me to turn over a few things I took with me that, though they belonged to me, they said they were sorely needed at the school. They gave me a list from the new principal, which included, but limited to my chair. No!
Get your own chair.
They're not getting the chair. I will fly down there and take that chair. No. My refrigerator and appliances. No. My community contacts board. No. My personally designed forms and worksheets. No. Make your own. 2-way mirror. No. My lockdown buckets and fire drill bags. No. They also wanted copies of every record I kept and notes I took on staff and students. The notes I took on the staff were so I could personalize gifts for them and have conversations with them on their interests. Nope. I said no to all those requests. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen Tim Hawkins. It's the gift of no. So they ask for something and you gift them back the answer. No. 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 I told the ladies that the furniture and appliances were mine that I brought in. I stated that the chair was a gift to me from a friend that knew the new principal, and I knew that the new principal could afford to buy their own chair. I also stated that I left any official school/district documents there, and I took with me and/or deleted were all of my own making and intellectual property. I also stated that my contacts were developed over the years on my personal time and personal cost to me. I also stated that everything I took, I had submitted reimbursement and was never reimbursed. I kept my records and pay stubs. I never saw a red cent from those submissions. They offered to pay me for some of the items and gave me a rough figure on what the district would pay for the return of the fridge, the forms, the buckets, the bags, the mirror, and the contact board. I told them I did not want to hand them over to the new team admin or the new admin team since they had treated me so poorly. I love this guy.
Not about the money.
Nope, it's not about the money. They asked me again and tried to reason that some of those things could be interpreted as school property. I told them that they were welcome to try and force me to return anything that was legally mine to them, but I would be willing to fight it in court. I also told them that those two new administrators made me uncomfortable and that their treatment could be considered making a hostile work environment, especially when they tried to make me do their jobs for them. Then I gave HR team my lawyer's info. Note, I dated a lawyer after my divorce for a few years, and we're still good friends, and she's offered herself as my forever retained lawyer, that I can use her name and she'd help me if she could. I rarely use her name, but when I have needed her legal advice, she always comes through. I also help her with her physical chores when she or her family needs help. Fantastic. Then I wish the lady a good school year on the term, a good school year in the term to come, and left. I doubt I will ever hear from her again. Update! Oh no! Okay, I need a second to have a drink. How are we doing, everybody? What's going on? I think I'm still up to date with support. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh my goodness, I just need a minute.
Did you get Danny's scale?
Oh my gosh. I would die on that hill about that chair, though. Yeah. No, you don't get my chair. You don't get my chair. My chair. My chair. Right? I'm waiting for it to come through on here. I'm on my third milk line. It's Friday. Who cares? Chairs are sacred. Yep. I swear that one I had landed me in the hospital. After that, it was awful. It was so bad. It basically knocked my back out so badly, and they had to do a bunch of tests on me to see if I had sciatica. Those tests aren't fun, especially when you're already in pain. I thought I was going to see Jesus. And the doctors were apologizing to me profusely because they knew they were putting me in so much pain. It was awful. And I was like, I'm never using this chair again, ever. And I banished it to the corner. I was like, get me a better chair. No. Okay, here we go. Update. Karens with power are as dangerous as they are annoying. July 27th, 2022. Ever notice that there are always people out there that just have to break beautiful things? Yes, there's a whole song about it by Taylor Swift called This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. Because you break them and I have to take them away. The people who see a sandcastle and stomp on it, or the idiots who visit Stonehenge to carve their names into it, like why? Note, the new principal is the kind of person who smiles when things go wrong because she's already thought of someone to blame it on. Oh, the shade. The shade that is not shady, the shade that is direct. As some of you may know, I am starting a new job in a week and a half. I haven't heard back from the old district since I met with their HR department after my road trip with my daughter. But Monday, I heard from the senior secretary, aka office goddess of my old school. She has been at the school for something like 20 years and knows everything that is going on there. It's her turf. She cares about the kids and the staff, and she is great, wonderful, amazing. Love these people. Well, I got a call from her, and she asked if I would do a welfare phone call to one of my former staff members, who we will call Beth. I asked her, why does she want me to call, and why me instead of someone who still works there? I don't work there anymore, and I'm sure someone at the school would be better suited for it, like a counselor. And she told me why she wanted me to call. So the new principal and TOA have made several changes to the school in their short time here. According to the office goddess, they have eliminated the house system. The old principal and I created 4 houses to have the kids compete year round for points with prizes for the top house each year, like Hogwarts.
We had that as well.
Yeah, cool. Moved 8 teachers to different grade levels at the last minute, including moving a teacher who spent their career, 15-ish years, only teaching kinder to teach 6th grade. Oh, no, that's... Oh my goodness. Canceled several staff activities, including the monthly breakfast bash and the welcome back competition, usually laser tag or bowling. Offered special office desks for themselves that can't be raised and lowered depending on if they want to sit or stand. She said the ones ordered run something like $500 a pop. But worst of all, they moved the librarian, Beth, to teach middle school ELA. Now, Beth is very kind and a well-liked staff member. She is hardworking and also adaptable. She's also certified in early childhood education, elementary education, and secondary. She also has cancer. She's been fighting it for a few years now. I've watched her struggle and keep fighting it. I've also watched a healthy, athletic woman of about 130 pounds drop to a pale shadow of that which I couldn't weigh more than 90 pounds soaking wet. Beth was a teacher for years at my old school, but a while back she found it hard to teach while going through chemo. I made her the librarian, and I fought to keep her at a teacher's salary. The district fought me, saying an aide was cheaper and could do the job. I wrote a post on here about it a while back. Officially, Beth is the school's media specialist, library arts teacher, and an ELA support specialist. Unofficially, her job is to basically read to the younger students, encourage them to read, helps older students with their research, and helps older students learn how to cite their work. The position also gave her plenty of time to rest, let her go to medical appointments easily, and gave her a bathroom next to her desk since she needed to go more often now. Plus, it kept her pay the same and kept her health insurance going. It was a rare example of a true win-win. I had an amazing librarian. She got paid, benefits, and a lighter workload so she could heal. Well, the new principal, all in her Jar Jar Binks wisdom. I want to be this guy's friend. I can't. Sorry. Okay. Has decided that Beth would be better off in a classroom again and that parent volunteers should run the library. It saves money and puts Beth where she is useful according to the admin's twisted sense of logic. And yes, they know of Beth's condition and why she is in that post. I hate these people! Ugh! Kyle! Misa no like you! Okay. I'm sorry. I know, like, this whole situation is really sad, but the Jar Jar Binks thing was needed. That was amazing. Okay, I'm good. I'm sorry. I am one of those people. I am original Star Wars trilogy. I don't talk about the prequels. I don't know her. They were disappointing to me. I'm sorry. I don't understand how you can have a movie with Ewan McGregor and Natalie Portman and have bad acting. I just can't. It's messed up, and I don't even want to go any further than that. I think Jar Jar Binks gets a lot of hate, probably disproportionate, but I mean, we all know it wasn't good, right? You know what I mean? And yeah, okay. Beth found out Friday about the reassignment. Yes, it is legal as her contract doesn't specify librarian, just teacher and her pay scale level. Beth tried to explain the situation to the idiotic woman who, if you gave her a penny for your thoughts, you'd get change back. Man. But she doesn't seem to care. She says that Beth would be just fine in the classroom and it would really help the kids academically. So I called up Beth yesterday and we talked for a half hour. She told me she may have to resign because she can't keep up with the rigors of teaching middle school, ELA, English language arts, and her condition, which is not improving, unfortunately. She's supposed to go through another cycle of chemo treatment soon. I told her I wish I could help. She said she may just become a substitute and work when she can. She's covered under her husband's insurance already, but ours was better. I feel really bad for her. Sorry. I feel really bad for her. I suggest that she go to HR and let them know that if she's moved back to a full-time classroom, that it would have a negative effect on her health and put her at risk. I also told her to get notes from her medical providers stating her case to have her stay in a less stressful position. I then gave her the name and phone number of the lawyer that specializes in educational law. I also let her know that I would help her find work if she wanted me to. I've already reached out to a few people who I know. I contacted my ex-wife's sister-in-law who works for a nonprofit that provides digital literacy and citizenship programs for people who want to come to the US. She said she might be able to hire her and give her remote sessions via Zoom. Or give her remote lessons via Zoom. So let's keep our fingers crossed.
So there was an update.
Yeah.
In one of the comments, he was able to get her that job.
Okay. Producer sister just wanted to let us know there was an update in one of the comments. She was able to secure that job, which is wonderful.
That's not mentioned again.
Okay. The new admin team cares more about the budget and losing like they do rather than what is best for the staff and the students. I don't know what day in history it was when educators stopped leading schools and the politicians and the parent pleasers looking for a pay increase took over, but it was a dark day for us all. I wish I had a happier story to share, but my old school is going to the bad place in a handcart, according to the office goddess. I wish all of you a great coming school year. And I feel loved. Update to I'm not the principal anymore. Okay, no problem. Success. September 13th, 2022. So here's an update to what happened at my old school. I will say that their actions make me proud, fill me with energy, and make me feel loved. Now, I haven't heard from anyone in school for the past few weeks. I've been really busy with my new teaching gig. I love the class, by the way. Well, it turns out that my misbehaving spread like wildfire amongst the staff. Oh my gosh, do we have petty staff? Did we get petty staff? I'm here for it. My friend Tony let me know that while we were watching a basketball game this weekend. Here is a summary of what has happened. I also heard from 2 of the old teachers. Here are the highlights. The new principal enacted new policies. Here are the 3 that pissed off the staff. Every teacher has duties every day, at least once a day. I never make my teachers work duty. What does that mean?
I'm not sure. I'm wondering. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what that means. If anyone is a teacher and knows what that means, can you guys clarify it in the chat? Because I am behind on this terminology, and
Or we may call it something.
Yeah, or we might call it something different. I don't know. Every teacher is required to have a Zoom meeting with all of their parents at least once a quarter. Every teacher must do 2 of the following: sponsor a club, be on a committee, or coach team. What if you don't have time?
2.
Lesson plan for the next week. Reviews with the TOA every Friday during prep periods. Okay. No office referrals for anything considered to be a minor infraction, no matter how many times it happened. Okay. Teachers must sign in every morning in the office and out at the end of the day and record the times. No leaving campus without approval. Excuse you? You are not my parent. You're not the parent. Teacher will need to cover for other teachers that are out. What if you don't have enough teachers?
That's why we have substitute teachers.
During the first day back meeting where she shared these changes, she apparently spoke harshly, authoritatively, and wouldn't allow the teachers to speak their mind. A my way or the highway atmosphere. In response to the above and more, together over a dozen teachers took their welcome back baskets, a school mug, cheap candy, Post-its, and pens, and slammed them on the principal's desk and voiced their displeasure. She threatened to write them up. They threatened to quit. It was their first day back from summer break. The new principal got tired of them mentioning that I never made them do these things, and she lost it and said, "Disgruntled veteran isn't here anymore. You are not to mention him anymore. I am in charge here, and he can take his R-word ideas and shove them up his..." Oh my gosh. Apparently, she immediately regretted saying that and tried to backpedal. No, damage is done, honey. Damage is done. And as an educator, you should know better than that. That's not appropriate. That is not appropriate. I'm sorry. No. Half of the teachers who heard the above went to HR and filed complaints about being yelled at, uses of the R word, and even claimed they felt actually harassed about her statement of shoving something in my butt. I don't know how seriously HR took them. Multiple staff members threatened to not renew their contracts at the end of the year. They said they can get teacher jobs anywhere due to the shortage. One even threatened to give her 30 days notice right there. Multiple staff members complained to the union, who contacted the district, stated that the policy changes were not in place last year and not in their contracts. 2 staff members complained to the union and HR about the principal removing the LGBTQ plus flags from their classrooms. They aren't in Florida. Next one, the superintendent had a meeting with the principal, Tony. Couldn't get into all the details, but basically she was told that if she didn't drop the BS, stop pissing the staff off, and gets any more serious complaints, that she would be removed from her post. My old staff members said that the last 2 weeks she hasn't left her office. She never sees her, and it's only the TOA sending emails. I guess only the TOA is running Wednesday meetings, and she's clueless on what to do and wastes a lot of time. So the staff stood up for themselves and me to a point and came out on top. I'm very proud of them. And is that the end?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Oh, I love it. I love it. There we go. That's the end of that saga. I like this person. They're fun. They are fun. Also, way to like. I'm assuming when they said disgruntled veteran, it's because that's what OP's name is on Reddit. Okay. Gonna say, because if they brought in the military thing and then used the R word after that, that would have been a like,
No, that is his username.
wow. You know what I mean? Yeah. Victory was won. Yes, Jennifer, I agree. Can I get some hearts up in the chat for producer sister for getting that ready for us today? Very much appreciated. Thank you, producer sister. I appreciate you muchly. I think that was fun. And we are approaching the 2-hour mark. Good. Okay. I can't believe we got through all of that. I was afraid this was going to be like a really, really long stream because of everything we had to get through, but I think we did it. But I guess we are now in the wind down section. And this is when I kind of just open things up and you guys can... Jennifer? Jennifer, are you okay? It's great. It's great. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to send in, any last minute support, let me know. We can just kind of chill here for a bit. And when things wind down, we'll wind down and, you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. Thank you very much, guys, for being here today. I'm sorry I wasn't here on Wednesday. I think I actually added it up on Tuesday. In the previous 8 days, I had been on the stream 6 times and for long periods of time. And my voice was just like, no more. We got to stop. So I did. I tried to listen to my body and I stopped. So I am planning on Katie. Yes, I'm planning the next stream on being Monday. If anything changes, I will do what I did before, which is I post something on Instagram and I post something in the community tab and I let you guys know what's going on. Denise, I didn't see anything from you, Denise. I'm looking back through. Was it, Denise, can you tell me how you sent it? Because I'm not having anything come up starred for me. Was it PayPal or was it, for lack of a better term, standard? Oh, yes, Denise. Okay, so that was you. I wasn't sure if that was you or King Bob. It's complicated. But yes, for Producer Sisters Mike, yes, I did receive that. Thank you so much, Denise. I apologize. Sometimes because it's PayPal, names come through differently, and I sometimes can get people confused. So I very much do appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's very, very kind of you. Okay. And it will be going towards the equipment that we're going to need to make it all work. Basically, what I have to do to have producer sister work is her mic has to get fed through my system, go through a soundboard that StreamYard has. I have to work that out. But I likely am going to need a docking station as well. So I have more USB outputs that I can then put her mic in. And then her mic and my mic are on the same channel. And hopefully that should work. That is what my audio tech guru expert has told me to do. So that is what we are going to do. So I'm trying to get all of that together, and it's a lot. I'm hoping to make some progress on it this weekend, but it's just been really, really crazy. All right. Let me catch up here. Yeah, Jalissa, that's a lot. I'm glad you stopped on Wednesday. It just was kind of that moment I was laying in bed and I just was like, I like looked at my husband and I'm like, hi, how are you doing? And he's like, you need to stop. Kind of thing. It's like, how much have you been streaming? And we talked about it. I was like, yeah. Medora Art said, I hope you're feeling better. Thank you. And producer sister for another great stream. No problem. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys choosing to be here. We know you have a lot of options. And it means a lot that you guys choose us consistently and that you want to support just with your time, with your likes, with all of that. It is super duper appreciated. Thank you, Denise. You are awesome. Thank you. I'm just catching up. Katie, is there a green light on you today? There is like a multicolored lights in the ceiling. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do with the lighting in here because I am pale and I get washed out very, very easily. So sometimes we also just put on the colored lights in here because it's easier on the eyes. There's all types of things. So I would say when it comes to streaming, I have two areas that I'm the worst in. The first is audio and the second is lighting. It's just not my gifts. They're not my gifts, and do my best. Alrighty. Oh, things just changed. Oh, wow. Thank you. Sorry, I just got like blinded. I'm like, green light. Oh, we have 9 pot lights in this room, and they're very bright. Producer sister loves lighting. Like really, really loves lighting. And producer sister had a lot of fun with picking up these lights and making them. Kyle just said you need a red rage light like Stef. I think we can do that in here. Make it all red. Okay, we'll see if producer sister can make it all red. It's fun. Let me see. White light. Yeah. Okay. Jennifer Marie, would you send an extra $10 to avoid the $3 delivery charge? Serious debate between me and my kid right now. We need your input, Kim. I think it depends. I think if it's like you could potentially spend $10 on the items and it would be worth it to you, like that you would use the items, that it would be good for you, you might as well pay. Like if you have to pay additional money, you might as well pay for it in items that you can keep as opposed to charges, like service charges. That's always been my opinion. There you go. There's the red light. Yeah, so I would say if it makes sense, go for it. I have that all the time when I look at like Uber Eats or whatever. That I'm like, okay, I could pay, X amount for delivery, or I could throw on another burger and have it tomorrow. I'll throw on the other burger. That's my opinion. Project Metal Music, ItsKim, are you making 3 streams a week a regular thing? Okay, my honest goal is usually to do 2 streams at least a week. That is dependent on my health. And also I have a full-time job, I have a family life, all those types of things. So I have to be careful with how much I push myself. Because if I push myself too hard, my body tells me very quickly and then I can't do anything. So I would love to get to a point where I have the stamina to be able to do 3 a week. And I think I am finally getting to that point. For those of you that don't know, I would say June, July, August of this year, I was really struggling. I was not doing well at all. And I tried to let you guys know a little bit about what was going on, but it was honestly like there were weeks on end that I had a lot of people working around me just to try to keep me out of the hospital. It was really, really bad. And I finally feel like I'm getting back on my feet from all of that. And a lot of it isn't necessarily that symptoms are gone, it's that I'm learning how to deal with them. I'm learning how to work alongside them and to adapt. So I'm hoping to get back to that point. We're working on it. I would love to be able to do 3 streams a week. I really, really would because I love doing this. But it's just a lot of work. That's all. So I would love to be able to do that. I probably would stick with a Monday, Wednesday, Friday would be how I would do it. But it depends on a number of things. Da, da, da. Jackie Swan, I'm here and I've just been lurking today whilst watching something on TV. Thanks for the stream, Kim and producer sister. It was great. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you picking us. And I'm glad that you have enjoyed it. Let me see here. Oh my goodness. Denise, use the red light for rants like Stef does. It's always so funny when Stef does it, just the way she has it, and it's so like reflective around her. It's just like rage. I love it. Oh my gosh, General Scott. Speaking of making sandcastles, I used to make sandcastles with my grandmother, but then my mom took the urn away. That is so dark, Scott. It's so dark. I can't. I'm sorry. Oh. Houston. And then they want a larger tip for the bigger order. I mean, I try to tip well. I do. I try to tip well because I don't want anybody spitting in my food. You don't have to turn on the red light. Roxanne. Thank you, King Bob. Oh my goodness. Just try to catch up. Katie said, "Yeah, flare-ups aren't fun. I've been dealing with them a lot more recently. That's why these streams really help distract me." I feel you. I feel you. Brian asked MS. No, okay, so how to explain this? So I have a condition, for those of you that don't know, is called CPTSD or complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And basically, I have PTSD from extended times of trauma throughout my development. And one of the side effects when that happens, when it goes through your development, is it actually does affect the way that your brain develops. So there's parts of my brain that did not develop the way that the average brain develops. And that means that some of my symptoms, they aren't, I think a lot of people assume that trauma disorders are only things that affect you on an emotional level. No, I have a lot of physical symptoms as well as mental health symptoms. And it can get really bad really, really quickly. And I can tell you a lot of what I was dealing with between June to August was overwhelmingly physical. And I was in agony, absolute agony for weeks. And because of the nature of everything, it's a lot harder to treat. It's a lot more complicated. And a lot of the treatments that are available for it, in my opinion, are not treatments that I want to pursue. I am in my early mid 30s. I don't want to go on opioids if I don't have to. Period. I also do not like to take medication that stops me from feeling things because on an emotional level, because when you have repressed trauma, part of what has to happen is it's got to come out. Right? You can't, like, if you're trying to release it from your body, putting things into it to be like, now you just don't feel it. It's fine. That doesn't fix the problem. That doesn't deal with it. So I do a combination of modern medicine and holistic therapy at the same time to try to deal with the stuff because I'm trying to get it out of me. I don't want it to stay. It's been in here long enough, and it's part of what has caused the issues. So I don't know how much of that makes sense. But that's kind of what's up. And I have incredible doctors who I was talking with on an almost daily basis through all of it that were taking care of. And yeah, I'm very thankful to be in the place that I am right now. And it just takes time, I think, sometimes to build back up the strength to be in the place where you want to be. And it's very frustrating when it's like you want to do things, but you can't. And I made the decision a long time ago in my life that stigma sucks. I think it is. I love how there's some words for people that are just so incredibly offensive. And to me, the most offensive word in the English language is stigma. And I want no part in it. And because I feel like if people just are acting like there's nothing wrong, then it makes everybody around them feel like, well, if they're fine, I should be fine. But the reality is none of us are fine. And we all just kind of play this game, whether it's like social media or whatever, that we're like, everything's great. We're only ever going to show things that are great. Here's me in Maui. Yay. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And it's like, it's fake. It's fake. It's not real. And I don't think that helps anyone. And I believe that we are at a point right now, especially with mental health, that I think internationally we are in a crisis with people that are struggling with mental health. And we've got to fight that. And we can't fight that if people aren't being honest. And something that for me, when I first started with this disorder, I was so incredibly confused and frustrated and overwhelmed. And everything I looked at was just stuff like PTSD is really bad. If you've been diagnosed with CPTSD, it's basically worse. Like it was the conversation that I was getting. And I'm like, okay, so what do I do? And the answer was always just, we can't tell you anything. You have to go talk to a mental health professional because we're not touching you because you're too bad, was the vibe I kept getting. And I was like, what happened to me? Like, what is going on? And it was so scary. It was so overwhelming. And then the other thing was I started going into online groups. And I mean, a lot of them were anonymous. And I don't know the reasons, but it really started to break me when I would hear these stories from people in these support groups. I would hear them at the end of their rope. And then they didn't come back. And then I would look at the statistics of people with my disorder. And it's just so incredibly discouraging and overwhelming and difficult. And I was in a place where I was actually able to get help. I was actually able to have doctors take me seriously. And then I got put in this position that I never expected of being on YouTube. And I just kind of made the choice that it was like, I'm going to be visible. I'm going to be openly visible about these issues because it would have made a world of difference for me to see someone be open about it and be honest that things aren't going to be perfect and be honest that it's difficult, but you have to overcome things. You persevere. And that's what makes such a huge difference is the perseverance and knowing that you're worth fighting for. So that's kind of the whole thing. I'm sorry, I just went off on like a TED talk there. I apologize. Vicky A gave more memberships. Oh my gosh. Where are we now, producer sister?
45.
We're at 45 memberships today? Holy crap. My goodness. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you for the support, everybody. I'm seeing the comments. I don't want to start reading a lot because I'm going to cry. Doing my best. And I'm not wearing waterproof mascara today, so that's not happening. And I don't cry like Jamie Lynn cries out of here. I cry from my tear ducts. Also not my forehead, like other people I've seen on court stands cry from their forehead. So yeah. Brian said, well, I can totally relate to that. My mental health always makes me physically down as well. I feel for you, Kim, and I understand totally. Yeah. And it always, yeah. Jackie said, my husband is a war vet and has PTSD. A lot of symptoms are also physical. Exactly. And that's the thing. People assume with trauma disorders that it's all up here. And no, it is all of you. It is everything. And it's awful. It's awful. Ray, have you tried EMDR? I have not. I have heard lots about it. There are a number of reasons for that. It has been discussed amongst my medical team. We are looking at other options as well. And I will let you guys know if that does come to pass. That'll probably be a whole thing in itself. But it's difficult. But I will say I have been in trauma therapy, not just CBT, trauma informed therapy, and I cannot recommend that highly enough. I just can't. Like that has been such a huge thing. And then I have a wonderful, wonderful GP who works, like, he takes what my psychologist has to say into account with the choices that are made, and they have been wonderful to me. In particular, they've been great. Big reason why I'm still here, I'll tell you that. Sage Warrior, yes, ma'am, CPTSD manifests physically for sure. I understand the body keeps score. Yes, it does. Yes, it do. Yeah. Let me see here. Billy Cat, I had measles when I was very young and it scarred my brain. Oh my goodness, causes random symptoms and chronic migraines. It sucks. Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. Migraines suck. And that must have been kind of like scary too, for you to have it that young and that type of a thing. I'm sorry that was your experience, but I hope you're doing okay. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, Project Metal Music. I was on medication for PTSD a while ago and it was messing with my body so much I had to come off it. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like sometimes, and that's part of why, like, I try to be really careful about this, because I don't think modern medicine is bad. I also don't think that natural medicine is bad. And I think they work best when they're used in tandem with people that really understand what's going on, and when you listen to your doctors and you address everything, not just symptoms, you address root causes. I think that's very, very important. Yeah. And King Bob, I've been on opioids since 1996. It sucks, but it's the only thing that helps. And I completely understand that. I have a lot of somatic pain as well as muscle tension. Those are the two mainly. So the somatic has to be dealt with in a different manner, and muscle tension for me, I'd rather treat the actual tension itself as opposed to masking it, because it's not going to get better if you don't figure out why your muscles are freaking out. You know what I mean? So that's why. And that's why I've been like, I don't want to do opioids, because I don't see the logic of it, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, producer sister? Yeah, it's just like, if it's not going to help long term, and I know there are situations where opioids are the best thing. They genuinely are the best thing. But that has to be, I think, a personal thing between you and your doctors and understanding that whole situation. But for me, it didn't make sense. Kyle, insert dog burning house meme here. You know, I actually joked. I've joked with my therapist that if I ever wrote a book about everything, that I would love to have literally the cover of the book be that meme, but me sitting in like a burning room. And it just is called "This is Fine," but between the "is fine," it would say "not" with an X through it. So it's like, "This is not fine." And that would be like the title. We've joked about that a few times. 100%. Yeah. All right, just scrolling through everybody. Yeah, seeing you guys that have CPTSD. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And that's the thing. There's a lot of people that have it, and we just don't talk about it because it's so complicated, hence why it's complex. And it's difficult to talk about because it's always like, I started running into this issue where, like, I'd be out with Lacey, right? I'd be like in public with Lacey, and people would look at me and be like, "There's no way she's a service dog because she's so tiny." That was always a thing, and it's still a thing. It's hard. I've gotten better with dealing with it. But then you'd have people that were like, oh, okay. And then they would ask me what was wrong with me. And it was, and I would say that I have a trauma disorder, and Lacey was trained in behaviors to assist me with that. And then people would push. And I remember distinctively, there was one time I was bagging my groceries, and this lady was just like, well, what happened to you? What happened? Like, she just wanted me to talk about the thing that was the most traumatic part of my life that literally changed my development. I'm just going to tell to a random person while I'm bagging my groceries while she's like it was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. And it's hard to know like how to talk about it. You know what I mean? Oh, did Steph come in?
Yeah, Steph just came in.
Hi, Steph. Hi, Steph. Trying to find your comment. Hello, Steph. Hey up. If you have not subscribed to Steph the Ultra Nerd, why? Why? Her link is in the description of my video. You can go check it out. Steph the Ultra Nerd. Her YouTube channel. She is awesome. She is awesome. Just looking here. Do. Jennifer said it's hard to talk about because I've had family members that use PTSD, the CPTSD diagnosis, to invalidate me for feeling legitimately feelings of upset or disappointment and their toxic actions. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's awful and not the way that it should be. And I'm glad that you can recognize that. And I hope that you're able to keep putting yourself first and know that what you feel is valid, and that you don't deserve to be mistreated, because you don't. And I'm sorry that's been what's happened to you. Christine, legally they can't ask, but people are just plain stupid and always ask. Very rude of them. Not you, / us. No, I know. And the thing is, but I also feel like there's kind of that place where it's like, but if we don't tell people, they don't know. They don't understand. So it's always that, like, I've gotten better at it now of what I say and what I don't. And I also have gotten a lot more comfortable with just saying to someone, like, I understand why you're asking that question, but for me to answer that question is actually going to be very difficult on me, and I don't feel comfortable. And that for me was a big step of being able to be like, no, you're not actually entitled to this information. You're not. You're not. Sorry, but you're not. And the majority of people at that point, they're usually very embarrassed and they feel really bad. And then I just said, like, I don't want you to feel bad about it. I can't hurt myself because you are curious. And I hope you can understand that. And most people are totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. Yeah. Katie Artist 94. Yeah, but you look fine is the comment I get every time when I don't want to talk about it. Yep. Do you want to see my brain scan? Because that doesn't. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. Yep, Denise. Yep. Destiny's Child Survivor is the anthem of today's stream because we've all survived different traumas. Yep. And invisible diseases, traumas, everything we go through, the things that people can't see, they are all valid. And we are all survivors. We all learn. It's incredible. We all do great things. And we overcome and we rise and we persevere. We're strong people. Kyle, it is trauma. There's a reason why it was traumatic. Don't ask people to bring that back up against their will. You would think. Oh my gosh. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Ugh. All right, everybody. We've been going for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I think I am caught up. And King Bob. I would never. It's just, it's honestly, it's like I said earlier in the stream, it's learning to give people the gift of no. You just say no. No. And that's the end of it. It doesn't need to go any further than that. You know what I mean? Oh. Yeah. DVD said at ItsKim, I'm wondering if a stream about living with chronic conditions would be something you'd consider, since there are so many in this community with such issues myself included. I have thought about it. Because the other thing too, like I know a number of you know, my fella has fibromyalgia, which is usually associate. It's more known to be a disease with women, right? Women tend to be more affected by it. I don't know how accurate that is because I wonder how many men just don't pursue treatment, and that becomes an issue. But you know, I've seen that whole side of it as well, invisible condition that just causes so much pain and is so misunderstood and so confusing, and it's really, really difficult. Um, and unfortunately, invisible illnesses are very misunderstood, very, very misunderstood. And I try to talk about it. I'd have to think about doing like a whole stream about it, how that would work. I feel like I would want to have like an expert on for like a conversation. So yeah, it's a good point though. It's a good question. It's a good question. Alrighty. I'm going to wind down. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will hopefully see you all come Monday, and we'll go from there. So I would appreciate if you guys wouldn't mind, when I run the outro, it's going to go for about 10 seconds. If you guys would not mind reloading the page and leaving a comment, that helps me out a lot. It lets YouTube know that there is engagement with this as just a video as opposed to being a stream, and helps me out so much. So if you would not mind doing that, I would very, very, very much appreciate it. Also just saw 2 supports come through. Thank you. Crystal Love, prayers for you. It's Kim, and coming from a recovering. Yep. Stay far away from opioids. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, totally. Yep. I know what you mean. 100%. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lulu's mom. Hi. Anxiety here. Don't mind sharing. I am very misunderstood. I honestly have questions if people don't have anxiety anymore. I don't know how, like, you can go through this world. I envy those people. I don't know how they do it. But yes, anxiety can be so debilitating, so terrible. And my heart goes out to you too, Lulu, because it's just awful. It's just awful. Anyway, we're gonna run the outro. Thank you all so much for being here. My love to all of you. I will see you on Monday. And if there's anything that changes, I'll let you guys know in the community tab or on Instagram. Much love, everybody.